Once you've completed a project, you might want to use it in another program. You can easily do that by clicking on the Export button here at the top left of the screen. And we can take a screenshot just to have an image. We can print directly in 3D, or we can save it as a number of different formats here. And these are all the different formats that currently you can export. You can also choose specific programs here at the top, like AutoCAD supports these formats, Inventor supports a different subset, and so on. I'm going to save it as an STL file. I'll give it a name, call it Lounge. And then down below we have a resolution slider. And we have to choose this here because we're going to be exporting it into potentially a program which doesn't support solids. And if that's the case, it needs to know how much to tessellate these curved surfaces. I'll choose medium. I'm not going to bother to save each group into a separate file. I just want it all in one file. And I'll click Share. I need to then save it to a file somewhere, and I'll go ahead and choose that. Save to Files. I'll save it on my iPad. You need to save it in a folder, so you might want to have another application that you have installed. I'll use Adobe Acrobat for that purpose, and I'll just add this file into that folder. It's kind of a workaround that you have to use on the iPad. Once that's done, I can go into my Files app, upload that to the iCloud, go onto my Mac, access the iCloud, get the file on my desktop computer, and then I can bring it into an application. After you transfer the files from your iPad to your computer, you can open it in another program. I'll show you how we can import that file into Sketchup, for example. I'll choose File, Import in Sketchup, select the lounge.stl file. You can go to Options here and choose to preserve the drawing origin. We don't need to swap the YZ coordinates, and the units should be centimeters. I'll say OK, and then Import. And there it is. It's a well-built model, but all of the edges are displayed. If you go up to Model Info, you can see that this has 11,000 edges. And this is at the medium level of export in Shaper 3D. We can clean things up here in SketchUp with a couple of steps. I'll double-click to open this group, and then triple-click to select that object. Right-click and choose Soften Smooth Edges, and then drag the slider to go from no softening to progressively softer and softer, and before you go too far and have the surface normals blend across the side of the cushion onto the face. So I'm going to back that off a little bit. Make sure Soften Coplanar is on, otherwise you'll have edges on the sides of the cushions. And that's it. Then I'll just go ahead and triple click on the armrest and just drag the slider a little bit. Do the same thing on each one of the pieces to hide all those unwanted edges. They're still there, but they're just hidden. So now we have an acceptable looking lounge chair here in SketchUp that we could use in an architectural project, for example. However, we can't edit it in the way that we could in Shaper 3D. There you have the ability to change the fillet radius on any of these curves, for example, but we don't have that flexibility here in SketchUp. So there you have it, a complete export and import process.